Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON TV Channel 9 and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, the Richmond Raceway, and Affordable Service Solutions. Now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, and Dawson Rule.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into another Monday at Jack Burford Chevrolet. This is the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael Watkins, Dawson Rule, Samantha Burford. We are all here. First time we've had that in a while, I feel like. We've all been skipping out.
We voted, and we all say it's because you have missed more than the rest of us.
Okay, well, hang on. If folks that watch the show every week.
T-ball games.
Listen.
Yeah.
Back to school nights.
Manicures. Don't forget, you got all the manicures in there.
For you.
Oh, yeah. I get
Yeah,
the
Samantha
toesies.
pulled up the receipts for this.
Yeah,
one.
you get
She's
the
like,
toesies done here. Yeah, let's see who's missed more sports shows in the history of these. How long have we been doing this? 7 years, I feel
Oh, my
like?
gosh.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I didn't wait.
It's been too fun to keep up. Like,
Yeah.
we always have a good time.
We do.
You remember the one time I jumped up on the chair?
I do. That was at Campus Warehouse. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah,
I was just so excited to be back.
A lot of memories on the show. But today we've got a memorable show, I feel like, as well.
Yes,
Talking some
always.
football. Got some other things that we'll discuss as well. Big football show, though, obviously, because of we'll have the EKU. We'll recap this game versus Kentucky. Walt will come on with us later on to talk about the first home game versus Western Carolina coming up this Saturday. A lot going on with high school teams coming back home this week.
Yeah.
Both Central and Southern suffering road losses last week. And I think that's where we'll start tonight and just look at the three games. Once again, all three teams taking losses this past Friday night. And Dawson, let's start with the Madison Central game because you were there on the call for that one. Indians had opportunities, which I feel like we've been saying that for 3 weeks now. They've had opportunities, but they have been unable to capitalize on those with 14-7 loss to North Laurel, a game that very winnable. We don't really have, I feel like right now, not many chances to, because you got some big dogs coming up. You got Scott County, you've got Great Crossing, Frederick Douglass, Bryan Station, GRC. Those five teams are in the waiting area for Madison Central football right now. And now there's talks of maybe switching to a freshman quarterback, too, in the next game with Carson Herbst. So talk about Friday night.
Who we've interviewed,
we
remember?
have interviewed.
From Madison Middle.
Oh, yeah. Carson's, he's that guy. Future is bright for Madison Central football. But Friday night, North Laurel, talk about what happened, the game, and just kind of recap it for us.
Well, North Laurel made lots of mistakes, but so did Madison Central. So for a time, it was 14-7 a lot of the second half, and Central had so many opportunities to drive down the field and score, but it always got brought back for a holding or an illegal block or something like that. Every time Central built some momentum, they had a penalty, and they just looked undisciplined. And that's me putting it nicely. They had some great plays. I remember Bryant Mathis had a 30-yard catch screen that he took almost for a touchdown, but it got called back for holding. Central, it just seems like every time they had an opportunity, something bad happened. They got a fumble recovery with like 4 minutes left to go. They were down a touchdown
And
at the Jaguars' 30-yard line and went 21 yards back.
Backwards.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, if you remember the Madison Southern game, every time they had a big play, it seemed like the very next play, the ball was snapped over KJ Will's head.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was like there was, I think, 3 occasions where they maybe not putting in a drive together, but they couldn't even start a drive because the ball was going over the quarterback's head. So it's been little bitty things like that, and maybe you still don't win those games, but execution-wise has not really been there for Madison Central football. It's frustrating, and again, now potentially on your fourth quarterback in 5 games, that can also be frustrating because it's hard to build some chemistry and some consistency and anything good that you need to be a good football team. That's kind of been the issue with Madison Central right now, but I did say the future is bright. There's a lot of really good young players. McElwee, you've got a lot of guys, DeBruce, Herbst. There's guys out there that the future is bright, but you got guys like Howard and the
Kaiser
and these seniors that they don't want to go out just yet either. I think they're still trying to just pull the right plugs, push the right buttons. Coach Blair in his first year as the head coach to figure out, okay, before we get into district play, because you can go 0-7, if you can win 2 or 3 of those district games and give yourself a home playoff game, then really you still, I think, got to feel good about the season.
Yeah.
So still some chances to correct things that are going wrong, but we're getting really close to the nitty-gritty now with Madison Central football.
Well,
I think that I'll let you go ahead, Samantha.
Well, I was just going to say, North Laurel has had some offensive struggles earlier in the season. I mean, we're just, 4 games in. But this was Central's opportunity to really take advantage of that. But it just seems like North Laurel's defense was strong. And I thought a minute ago you were going to sum it up with one word, just penalties.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it was. It was kind of frustrating to watch, but it's crazy. They still had a chance at the end.
Yes,
to
fourth
tie
quarter
it.
was big.
And I said on the radio, North Laurel survived, but did they?
You're
did
right.
They survive?
I heard you say that. You did a great job, too, you and Beck.
Well, you talked about the fumble that gave Central a chance to maybe come back. Same thing happened to Madison Southern. They're taking on Wayne County late in the game. Wayne County fumbles, led 19-14, a minute 26 to go. Wayne County fumbles the football. Southern takes over, unable to get anything going as Ethan Moore has a pass intercepted. Wayne County took a knee and ended the ball game. So, again, execution, not the best. Southern did execute very well against Madison Central 2 weeks ago, but on the road Friday night, when you've got a chance to really start, okay, you got that signature win for Mark Payne, second year as the head coach. Now let's start building this program forward. And maybe not really a head-scratching loss, but a tough pill to swallow, I think, if you're Madison Southern, who's got some expectations this year to go on the road and lose that one to Wayne County.
I mean, Wayne County, I looked earlier. I'm pretty sure they're undefeated. They're a solid team, and their schedule, I think it mellows out a little bit with their district. They have East Jessamine, West Jessamine, and I'm pretty sure Montgomery County. So, and I looked at their schedules. They're 2-2 or 0-3, something like that. So, I think Southern will be fine once district play comes around. But the rest of their opponents, I mean, it's going to be tough if they don't find a way to score more consistently on offense. I think Ethan Moore was only 2 for 10. They relied a lot on the running game. But if they want to win more games, Southern's got to get that passing game going too.
Yeah, only 20 yards passing too. And Moore has ran the ball well. They ran the ball well against Central when Lucas Mullins had a couple of nice runs.
But they still had some nice runs, even this game.
Well, 50 yards for Kelly. Moore had 49, 48 for Whitehead, 36 for Mullins, a touchdown. So here's the thing I think it could be for Southern. They've almost got too many weapons. I mean, you got so many guys you can give the ball to, and they can make an impact.
I don't think so.
It can be hard sometimes to, okay, who do I give the ball to now, and what certain situation do I give this person the ball, I think that could be one of the cases for Southern, but that
should make them stronger, and that really takes your opponents out of the game because they don't know what's coming. Pretty much, they're going to run the ball.
Well, if you think about it, this is how so we know when Southern was at their peak under John Clark.
Yeah.
We know that they were going to give the ball to Eads or Carter Smith or Tobias Storm or Walter Smith.
Yeah.
There were, certain guys that you knew in key situations.
Or back in the day,
this is who I'm going to go to. Now, again, you've got so many different guys that it's kind of hard to figure out who's going to get the ball in certain situations.
Maybe it could be like they're still meshing together. And I know it's Coach Payne's second year, so it should be taken care of so far. But maybe they're just having trouble getting everything to come together the way they want it to. And that sometimes hurts high school football teams. If the coach's staff has a way they want to play the game, or if they're maybe more defensive-minded or offensive-minded, and certain plays aren't going, then people get discouraged. And next thing you know, you're 1-3. It's like, oh, man, we're almost at the halfway point in the season. We got to start finding a win soon.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Southern had the momentum right after beating Central.
Yeah.
They had it all. And that's the thing. That every player we interviewed, that was their goal. That was their goal. We're going to beat Central, the goal. So you hope that this game wasn't too much of a letdown because they reached their goal.
Well, and how many times have we said once a team reaches the top of the mountain, it's hard to keep going. And that's that could be what we saw with Southern because I mean, that was what they wanted. Hey, we want to beat Madison Central. Now it's time, I think, for Coach Payne. Okay, hey, we saw what we got to fix. Let's refocus. We got district games coming up here soon, and let's get the ship righted. They'll be at home versus Henry Clay this Friday night.
Winnable game.
Very winnable game.
And homecoming.
Yeah, and
so
Central
this is important.
At home versus Scott County this Friday night. So that's a game top team in class, what, 5A?
Yeah. And Scott County just beat Southern.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
a few weeks ago.
That's a tough test ahead for Madison Central this Friday. A couple of big games here on WBON TV.
All of them are big games, I feel like.
Well, now we're at the point of the season where you got to start getting some victories.
You got to get some W's on the board.
The Berea Pirates took on Bracken County. We was there live Friday night for that game, the Pirates and Bracken County. And Bracken County had a player, the name Dawson Tarter. That name, I mean, that's I had listen. I like throwing some stuff out there. I said there was a touchdown that Tarter had. I was like, man, he put some tartar sauce on those couple of those moves
That's
out there.
clever.
But I mean,
Look at you.
Bracken County just too athletic, too big. They had a couple of defensive linemen that were in the backfield all night long versus Aiden Houston, and he could never really get time to throw. When he did, he made some nice plays. Dalton Robinson had a couple of nice catches for Berea. Cam Thompson made some nice plays on offense and defense, but they never could protect the quarterback long enough for them to get in any kind of offensive rhythm. This young Berea football team, I like Jonathan Thomas. I think he's the right guy for the job. It's just so hard to win, especially at a school when you've only got 20, 25 players. It's hard to be consistently good. And Bracken County, again, a bigger team coming down to play Berea. A lot of weapons, a lot of players they can put out there to make some plays, and they put it all on display Friday night against the Pirates in a big 49-0 win.
They got a lot of people playing both sides of the ball, right? So that's exhausting.
Yeah, it can't.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you're your quarterback and you're taking hits, and then you're expected to play safety
defense.
too. I mean, that's like you're just worn down at that point, and then you're trying to chase around a guy in the Tartar kid who was just running through people and running past them. It's really hard to make plays like that. But the Pirates did lose 49-0. They're back at home this week as well. They got a 3-game homestand. They will take on, I believe, I'm going to get it right here.
They're the one I didn't write down.
Yeah.
Gallatin.
Gallatin County. And then they play Jackson County next week. So I knew it was Jackson County next week at home as well. This week, it is Gallatin County. And, of course, this weekend, the Spoon Bread Festival.
Yummy.
So you've got Spoon Bread Festival this weekend.
And a home
Big
game.
home games for both Southern and Berea. So a good chance to get out there and support your local teams as they play at home. And is Central homecoming too this Friday, right? Or is
No,
that
they're
next
the
Friday night?
following.
Okay, so Great Crossing will be the homecoming for Madison Central. So that'll be a big weekend coming up here for the local football teams, and we're excited to be there for you folks. Good Friday night high school football. We again, some close games on the road for Central and Southern. Berea got them on WBON to showcase some of the kids there. But, again, we've got to just find some consistency with the football teams here locally. That's the big thing that I think we're missing is just consistency on all the local football teams. We knew they were young all year long. Preseason, coming into the season, we talked about it, how young they were all going to be. And I think
all three
through
teams, right?
the first month of the season, we've really seen that, Dawson.
And we were a little spoiled last year, I think, with good playoff run from Central. We knew Southern would struggle a little bit with the first-year head coach, but they had some successful years before that. So maybe these past couple of seasons have kind of spoiled us. And this year we just kind of – yeah, and this year we're kind of seeing, high schools and schools in general go through years sometimes where I don't want to say you have a bad class, but you have coaching change, or you have a class that doesn't have as much D1 talent as another class. And it could just be what it is this year. There's talented guys on all these teams. But it just maybe they're not meshing. Maybe it's just
maybe the coaches aren't meshing.
Issue.
I mean, you don't know. Maybe they're not.
Anything.
When you got all new coaches like that, you don't know what's happening.
There's a learning curve, and it's really hard to kind of put it all together in one season. Again, there's a lot of really good young players on all these teams. I think that we'll see it eventually get corrected. It's got to be patient. Don't
next year.
Don't make every. Well, I mean, not even that.
We're not giving up on this year, but next year we're gonna.
The future is bright. I think in all the schools. I mean, even Berea's having to play young guys right now.
Can you imagine if we just had one school and had all three teams?
Well, I mean, you could say that for everybody. I mean, imagine if Scott County and Great Crossing were together, all the Fayette County schools. So there's a lot of counties that you could say that at. But we are appreciative, and we love all the ones that we've got here locally. And
they have been fun. I mean. You don't never love the losses, but they have been fun. Yeah. And even Berea the week before, up until halftime, I mean, it was a close game at halftime the week before. So we got to get them in that win column.
Friday night, Madison Central takes on Scott County. We'll be there live for that one. And Madison Southern taking on
Henry Clay.
Yeah. That's homecoming night for the Eagles. We'll be there for that one as well, live on WBON TV. And you can listen to the games on the radio as well. Looking forward to being out there this Friday night. We'll step aside for our first commercial break. Appreciate all of our great sponsors here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. We'll be right back, folks. Walt Wells in the house. We'll talk to him later on as well when we come back. EKU, Kentucky. Man, what a fun Saturday it was.
All there.
It was so cool to see everybody come together. A lot of maroon in Kroger Field Stadium there, Dawson. We'll talk about that when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cookie Duck, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens crossing off Highway 52 East and richmondraceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
We're back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Before we get into Kentucky and EKU, do you know what yesterday was, Samantha?
September 10th.
You know what happens on September 10th? A legend was born, and that's Dawson Rule. Had a birthday yesterday.
It was your birthday. I did not know.
All right.
I was going to say your birthday, and then I was questioning, like, I know it's not
you'd
your
know
birthday.
If it was my birthday. I'd
Yeah,
have
I was
blown
going to
up
say
Facebook and everything.
Yeah.
What, 24?
I'm in my Kobe Bryant year, 24.
Yeah, 24.
So, that's right. That's right.
And you know what? Joe Burrow celebrated in a big way.
Don't even talk about that.
He didn't
Listen,
either. And I'm going next Sunday.
Week 1, don't count that.
Oh, man.
He started 0-2 last year.
I mean, they used to be huge rivals, too, Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, they still are. Hey, at least you got a good birthday present being on the field Saturday with EKU in Kentucky. How awesome was that? Listen.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I mean, happy birthday. I texted him. I meant to I had a big post lined out, and then I did. Listen, when I got 3 kids, I'm trying to chase around. It's really hard to focus on
big
one thing.
post,
So,
right.
yeah. But, hey, we got you here. Happy birthday. 24 years old, man. You're getting old on us and growing up on us, Samantha. I don't like to see my boys growing up. all these guys that I've kind of see grow up in front of my eyes. I'm not going to get too emotional, but Dawson, I'm proud of you, man, and happy birthday. So
That's all right. You can hug me after this.
all right, I appreciate it. I'll let you buy lunch this week too.
He's going to be taking over your job someday
Yeah,
soon.
I can sit in the rocking chair and listen to George Jones and hang out at the
George
house.
Jones.
That's what you
Where
were
did
doing
that come
Saturday
That's what I
night.
was doing Saturday. Yeah, when I got home. So.
George Jones.
Let's talk about.
You didn't watch the Alabama-Texas game?
Oh, it was a great game.
No, I'm mad at Spectrum right now. We won't get into it. But
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
yeah. Let's talk about EKU Kentucky, though.
Yeah.
So you were there. We were there. Down on the field. What an incredible day. I mean, it was just walking around the track, getting video. I kept hearing, "Hey, Michael. Hey, Watkins," and I looked up. Everybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone's there.
UK
There's a
shirts,
huge
EKU shirts.
EKU fan base there,
Yes,
too.
I mean, it was incredible to see all the maroon and I'm telling you what, I think the team felt it too. They were hyped up early on, and even throughout the game. We'll have Walt on obviously to talk about the game, but just I think it was such an important day for EKU football to showcase this team, to showcase Parker McKinney, to showcase Walt Wells, this program that's on the uptick, and like, hey, Kentucky. When they're on the road, there's a pretty dang good football team 25 minutes down I-75 that you all should be coming to support as well.
I mean, a few plays here and there that UK doesn't get or something, and Eastern's up at halftime instead of tied. Or
Right.
They're up, a touchdown at 10 points in the third quarter or something like that. I mean, they pretty much, I don't want to say dominated Kentucky, but
The
they
first
held their
half, I
own.
would say they did.
They did in the first
For
half. They held their
sure.
own. And even in the fourth quarter, they were down 21-10. They're like, all right, let's go march down the field and score a touchdown, 21-17. Like, we're not going anywhere. And,
Yeah.
I'd turn around and look up at the fans, and, they'd just be like,
Yeah,
going
what
on?
is this?
Like,
I
what
had
in the
people
world?
texting me that are big Kentucky fans, and they're like,
What is
this is what's going on. Is EKU supposed to be this good? And I'm like, yeah, they're supposed to
Yeah.
be pretty good. I think when you look back at the Cincinnati game, I think the Colonels came out a little shell shocked. Once they saw the speed of Cincinnati, it was just hard to regroup. Once things went wrong,
Yeah.
they really went wrong.
Well, and Cincinnati has those big defensive players that
Yeah.
are going to be in the NFL someday. I
Yeah.
mean, and it was 115 down
That's
on
true.
the
That's
field.
true.
Cincy.
I was talking to somebody, and you being there, Dawson, with the way the weather was Saturday, when you looked up, there was just pretty much a gray cover over top of Lexington, basically. But being down there in the sea of blue with the maroon sprinkled in, and then you look up and it's gray over top the stadium, it was almost like we were in a football bubble watching two really good football teams just kind of, slug it out. It was just, to me, as a football fan, whether you were rooting on Kentucky, whether you're rooting on EKU, it was the perfect day because I know how Kentucky fans can be. I know how Dawson can be sometimes when his team's not playing well. Kentucky won. Even though they didn't play great, Kentucky won. And EKU showed out. I think, again, it was a perfect day. And what was, I'll say, his team, obviously they wanted to win the football game. We'll talk to him about that. But just all in all, I mean, I felt like it was a perfect day for fans because they all came together. It felt like we were all part of the one team there, just watching our two teams play.
You go.
oh, okay. Yeah, every time I looked up, I was like, man, this is we see all these people from Richmond up here at Kroger
Yeah.
Field. That was cool. And you see the people who aren't from Richmond that are UK fans that, hey, what's going on? That part was cool in itself. But then getting to walk around both sidelines during the game, just kind of get some video and be like, oh, touchdown UK. Oh, nice, touchdown UK too. Obviously, I had my maroon on that day, so a little bit more for Eastern. That's probably the only time that'll ever happen in Kroger Field. But it was just kind of like a dream. I was like, man, this is so stinking cool.
Yeah.
So I went out on the field at the very beginning of the game. We had the JMI passes to be able to watch Kentucky come out.
Yeah.
And which is so cool. It is such a cool
Yeah, you go out
and
there
very
on the
blessed
50 and it's just right
opportunity.
there.
Yeah, it's right
Well,
there.
It was Kentucky Chevrolet Chevy dealers.
Yes, that was all the rally
yeah,
towels
that
and all
was
that. So we
the
got to
day,
go
yeah.
out there. And then you could hear some of the crowd start booing when EKU, the Colonels, came out. And Walt Wells saw us over there. He came out, fist bumped us, gave me a hug. I mean, it was like, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's fall in Kentucky, and we've got our two favorite teams playing. And it was just a magical moment, really,
I
for
agree.
me.
Well, just walking down there on the sidelines, and I had some people from my hometown that were there. They were taking pictures of me. My mom was texting, hey, so-and-so saw you. I'm like, well, I'm down here on the field,
Everybody's going to,
so
yeah.
put me in, coach. Let me make a play, type thing. But it was just, again, I mean, we've all said it. It was just a perfect day. Wish the Colonels would come away with the
What
victory.
color did you wear?
Oh, I had on my white EKU, but not this one, my different white
Different
EKU
one.
polo.
And
yeah.
you said you had maroon on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I had white on so I could be neutral. And I had these on one arm and blue ones just like it on the other arm.
Okay.
Nice. All right. That's how you do it.
But I did get in trouble up in where we were sitting. I was going something to Parker. Come on, Parker. Come on. Throw it. And then all of a sudden somebody went, hey. Like. And I was like, yeah, that's the Maroon coming out on me. Yeah.
Well, you graduated from UK, right? Yeah. What, 9 years? Is that how long it took?
Oh, yeah, it's probably been about 5 years.
No, I'm saying it took you 9 years to
it
graduate.
took me 9 years.
It took me 7 years, or 6.5 to graduate from Eastern. Not. I mean, that was like my fourth school I went to, but.
You know, to think about it, those college days are fabulous. So I should have stayed for 9.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you ever graduate?
Now. Let me get in there,
As long as someone else is paying the bill.
For it, yeah. Dawson graduated from Eastern just last year. Went to UK before that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you
it was
believe
just,
both.
I mean, it was just a cool day. And the game, I mean, McKinney, now the only EKU quarterback to ever surpass 10,000 passing yards.
And
that's something.
How did he do it in that game, too? That's kind of like crazy. Like, one of the biggest games he's ever played against a big team, I should say.
And he played great.
Awesome. Like, he had the 14-yard run at the start of the game, and everyone's like, whoa, like 7-0. Where'd this come from?
Yeah, what happened?
And then they're down 21-10. It's like, oh, man, UK's about to pull away. Good run, Eastern. Then he goes and drives them down the field and touchdowns. It's like, oh, my gosh. Like, we're in the fourth quarter. It's a 4-point game. Like, what in the world?
Yeah. We do want to tell you, folks, coming up this weekend, so with the first EKU home football game, Downtown Touchdown, an event this Friday taking place at Apollo Pizza. Live music, food, and drinks beginning at 5:30 p.m. So plenty of time to go out there before the high school games start. You can go out there, have some fun.
Friday.
Get ready for the EKU football game on Saturday, and then you come out and watch the high school game Friday night. And then it's Kids Day and Educators Day this weekend. Complimentary tickets for both groups available by calling the EKU ticket office. You can get all the information there on EKUsports.com. So go by, do that now. And we're also going to have some tickets to give away throughout this week as well. So be sure you're following WBON TV Sports on Twitter and on the WBON TV Facebook page to find out how you can win some free tickets to EKU in Western Carolina, the home opener for the Colonels this Saturday.
And that's pretty special. That's something unique that they're having on Friday. But don't forget, like, you can always go on Thursday to the Golden Corral, the coaches show there. And then we always promote and are there for the Apollo Pizza, the Thursday night at Apollo. So
it's good pizza.
Coach Wells is there. Some of the players are there. It's fun. Both events are very fun.
Yeah, so a lot to get ready for with EKU football Saturday. And before you make your way over to the stadium, Dawson and I will be live 90 minutes prior to kickoff for the EKU Tailgate Show, the only tailgate show live on campus. Come by and see us. We'll get you set for EKU football. We're going to be
and if somebody's out of town, how can they hear it?
You can listen to it on the Coyote, which is where the game will air as well, and you can watch it on WBON TV. So plenty of ways to catch the EKU Tailgate Show, the official EKU Tailgate Show, coming up this Saturday, 90 minutes prior to kickoff, a 1-hour show. I was talking to Stephen McKenzie. Hope we're going to get Coach Jackson. Coach Ron, listen, if you're watching, we're expecting you to come over and talk to us Saturday. We're hoping to play some cornhole and just kind of have some fun.
Yeah, I want to see him. He likes my Twitter stuff all the time. He called me like Heavy D one time. He's like, "What's up,
Heavy
Heavy D?"
Man, it's the drip.
It's the drip.
I told him that it was the drip that was keeping him away last weekend. So, Coach Jackson,
come on
listen,
over.
I won't be there with you. This is the one game I'm missing. I have a nephew. My oldest nephew is getting married Saturday, so I'm missing the game. That doesn't mean we might be watching.
Oh, Dawson. What are we going to do, man? I told you we have
a wedding. Do you want to go in my place?
No.
No, it's my nephew.
Listen,
I can't.
When I go
love
to weddings,
him too much.
I dance a whole lot, and then I get sore for a week, and it's just kind of hard to recover. But
I know. See, I already warned my husband if we're going to the Bengals game on Sunday, we're not leaving the wedding early so that we can get home so you can get to bed so that we can go see the Bengals. Like, we're going to max out both days, you know?
Right, yeah. Who day?
Well, listen, we've been talking about EKU football. We might as well bring the head man onto the show with us. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, Walt Wells will join us here on the show. We'll look back at the big game from Saturday. We'll look ahead of the big game this Saturday when the Colonels welcome Western Carolina with the home opener coming up this week. Step aside when we come back. Walt Wells will join us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Coconut, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond.
We can't wait to see ya.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East and RichmondRaceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
We're back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael Watkins, Dawson Rule, Samantha Burford. We're talking EKU football. Before the commercial break, going to bring in the head man himself, Walt Wells. Coach, let's talk about Saturday, first of all.
Right.
I know that not what you all wanted to come away with the loss, but you got to feel good about the way your team played in that first half. A lot of chances to really build a lead. But I feel like the day itself, when we're talking about, it just seemed like everybody kind of came together there and just celebrated EKU football, Kentucky football. As far as the day itself goes, I feel like, it was just an all-around pretty good day to be a football fan.
No, I think it was great for the state of Kentucky. To have the flagship university, which I know I'm not supposed to say, but it is, and then to have, in my opinion, the flagship football program in the state, which has got a lot of history, got a lot of proud moments in it. To come together and play a quality game and have all those fans. I saw a lot of people with a blue shirt or a blue hat on and a maroon shirt and a maroon hat. And, I don't understand all that totally, but I try to understand it. And I get it. I get it. But it was awesome to have have an atmosphere like that for our young people to play in. I thought they went out and represented Eastern and Madison County well. We got to learn to win. We got to win the game. It starts with the halftime, right before half. I should have done a better job of time management right there with our special teams coordinators. And then, we got in the second half and it got into a little shootout there. We didn't back down. They scored 21, we scored 10, and that's how it went. So, we've got to continue to improve like we did from week 1 to week 2 from week 2 to week 3. And if we'll do that, I think we've had a chance to have a good football team.
Well, I mean, just walking through and seeing everybody there, I was impressed with the sea of maroon.
Yeah.
Being down there on the field, and I know you guys feed off that at home especially, but on the road, I feel like, did you guys feel the energy from the maroon platoon there on that day as well?
Well, you could hear, to our, I guess, where we were standing facing the field, to our right, you could hear them. I mean, when Braden scored that last touchdown, I mean, it was a good little – I mean, you could hear it on TV. I showed some of the TV copy and some things to them today. And, you could hear the crowd and the people for Eastern that were cheering, and you could hear little boo birds every now and then for the old Wildcats. And, people just need to be patient and let it all play out. But I was proud of our fans, the people that showed up. Somebody showed me some pictures from a tailgate that Eastern had, and it looked like there was quite a bit of people there. Yeah. I don't really notice any of that, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, we're doing, there's so many in things that we got to get done before we even get out there on the field. And so, but, that's what it's for. And it's for everybody to be proud of EKU and UK and have a great day.
Well, let's talk about, I've been at the Cincinnati game, I've been at the UK game. Let's talk about the difference in those 2 weeks, because the opportunities have been at both. And, wow, the improvement from week 1 to week 2 that you just acknowledged. Talk to us about that and how you feel about it and what you're going to do even for week 3 of your home game.
Well, I think week 1 we were better than what we showed. Yeah. We played physical. We had a lot of strain, which are 2 important things. If you don't have a team that does that, then it's going to be hard all year. I think our team does that. They uncharacteristically did some things. Now, we're young on defense. We only had 2 starters back. So now they got 2 games under their belt a little bit. And then offensively, the same way up front. We got 3 new starters. We got, new tight ends, new receivers. And so, we just didn't get in rhythm. For whatever reason, like I said in my post-game press conference, we weren't even in it in the first quarter. In this game, we were leading in the first quarter. Yeah. And so it's totally 2 different feels. I think the confidence grows, the belief grows when you go out there and you do those things. I think Kentucky's got a really, really talented football team. I'll be shocked if they don't play, well all year. I think, Mark will have them going. And I think they gave us their best shot, too. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. I think they came out and really, gave us everything they could give us, and our guys performed well. The growth from that has to be every week. It can't be because there's 70,000 people in the stands, or it can't be because it's Kentucky and, whatever reason there is. It's got to be because it's a standard that we play to. We have to learn, and I told our kids that, we have to learn to play to that standard every day, but win the game. Yeah. And that's, again, I say that, win the game. We're 0-3 in our last 3 games. And, I'm hungry for victory. Yeah. And I hope they are too. And I think they are. We'll find out. We didn't practice today. We met a lot and ran and recovered and did some things. It's been a tough 2-game sled right there. And I want to make sure our bodies are right for this week.
Coach, do you feel like y'all's game plan against Kentucky worked? I mean, down to the fourth quarter, y'all were in it and gunning with the Cats, and they've got a lot of talent. Of course, y'all's got a lot of talent, too. Do you feel like your scouting report and the coaches had the guys prepared to go up there and potentially upset Kentucky?
Well, no doubt. I think so. I mean, I think we did a nice job of it. I think, Andy Richmond does a great job. Jake Johnson does a great job. And our 2 special teams coordinators, Derek Day and Chris Franklin, do a great job. Our goal was to get 2 first downs every time we stepped out on the field. We did that every time but twice. Yeah. I think that's pretty remarkable against a team like that. That means you're playing 6 plays at least 6 plays, or at the most 6 plays, I should say, every time, 6 to 9 plays. Well, that takes time off the clock, makes them frustrated. They want to get out there and, let's just be honest. When you look at that game, if you're Kentucky, you're like, all right, we got to win this thing 50-14 or whatever. And when we're holding the ball, we're moving the ball, they can't get the ball back. They get anxious. They press. They want to make plays. Defensively is where I was a little worried. Not our defense, their defense, because they are probably one of the better defenses that Kentucky's had, both up front and, through the middle. I mean, they're really talented. And, I was really, really proud of the guys, and they stuck with the plan. They did the plan. Now, and it didn't always work. We had some free runners at time, and we missed some things. And, we got to improve on those. But really pleased with our coaches. I mean, I think we've got good first and foremost, I believe you win with people. I believe you hire good people, okay? Then you empower them to do their job. And then it's my job, if it's not going the way we need it to go, to bring in different insights that may change how we do things. And so we all are close together, and we have hard conversations a lot. And when you have those hard conversations, if you know each other and you trust each other and you care about each other, you'll go back to your office and you may be mad at me or I may be mad at you, but when we sit down, we'll look at it and we'll go, all right, now let's get back together and figure out how we can fix this. And, we had to go through that last week, and we'll go through that some this week. That's just how coaching is. It's not, I tell everybody, if you're real soft in your feelings, do something else because coaching is not it.
But before we get to the first home game, there was a cool moment before the game when you and Coach Stoops were out there on the field. And obviously you're very familiar with each other where you worked with him before. Talk about that conversation. What were you guys talking about? Just catching up, talking about the good old days, or just, kind of, was there any trash talk before the game? Or what was that?
No, it's not. Neither one of us are we're not the trash talk. I mean, even though I trash talked during the game to the one kid and they caught it on camera, but we're not trash talkers too much. And we even talked a little bit today just to check in on Lim and make sure he's doing okay. But it's just catching up, just talking about, we had Colonel Gaston, Greg Gaston, come speak to our team, which was a really, really inspiring, powerful, great words there. And of course, he knew Mark and Mike both from back in Arizona. He spoke to them in Arizona. So, we talked about that. We talked about, our kids and, KJ and his boys out in Denver, and, they're a year younger, and, they know each other and, all that kind of stuff. We just talked and,
caught up a little bit.
Talked about our teams and the season. And, obviously he's like, I know you're not going to play the way you played last week. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I hope we don't, and so, and just really just caught up with some things that, are to us, and then after the game it was the same thing. He was very complimentary of our football team. I was very complimentary of him and his football team, and and I just told him thank you for what you did for me as an assistant coach, that needed a place to go work, and you provided that opportunity, which gave me an opportunity to be here at EKU, and and I got to grow a lot in those 2 years. So Mark's a good man, and sometimes it's hard to see that, because he's guarded, excuse me. And, but that's, you got to be in this profession.
Well, you talked about him, you talked about Coach Cohen, Coach Kidd. Obviously, there's a lot going on there. And I know again, we don't want to give out too much information, but talk about him. What's the latest that you've heard? I know another one of your mentors, and obviously meant a lot to you, and we're still checking on him, praying for him and his family. Can you give us an update, anything about Coach Kidd at the moment that new at least?
I would just say keep praying for the family, and Coach, obviously. I think they're going through, rough stage right now, and, I lost my dad suddenly. Boom, he's gone, just kind of like what happened to me, right? And so for you to watch that, I think that's got to be really extremely hard. My wife watched her father die, and different terms. But I just think the family, he's such an iconic figure. He's been such a great dad, a husband. I mean, you got to think Sue and Coach have been married for 60 years. I don't know. It's just. It's just hard. And so just pray for comfort, pray for healing, and everybody, because it's a hard deal to go through.
Well, you going to show the
I got the sticker.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys wore those, right?
I brought some and gave them to John, too.
So will you all be wearing them again, I guess?
We will continue to wear those. I think there'll be some other things that'll come down the pike. That was kind of a, we wanted to make sure when we were playing that game that Coach was honored. And, and I think Kentucky, they didn't wear that one, but they wore the little round ones that had RK on it. And I thought that was really, they didn't have to do that. He didn't go there. He didn't coach there. He didn't do anything. And for them to honor him that way, I think just talks about his impact in the state. I think it's well documented in my press conference, but the things he's done for high school football, the things he did for Western Kentucky University, you got to remember Mike Gottfried, one of the best that ever coached at Murray State, played for Coach Kidd his 1 year at Moorhead, and the list goes on and on and on, and of how Coach impacted not only Madison County and Richmond and Corbin, but the whole state of Kentucky, and really for a long, long time, the nation in FCS football.
Let's talk about Western Carolina. Big game this week.
I got one more question.
Okay, go ahead. She always does.
Real quick. I know I do. Before we move on, just a big congratulations to senior quarterback Parker McKinney.
Yeah, the 10,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Him being the first EKU. We'll let you explain it and talk to it and how excited you are for him.
You probably know the record better than I do. I mean, I know he's over 10,000. I'm sure that's the first one ever. And for Parker, he understands. He's very appreciative. Obviously, he loves Richmond. He loves EKU. And I've said this before, and you can never measure this, so people can get mad and all that. Obviously, I owe him a lot because of the way he plays. But I think he's one of the top 5 to ever play here, if not the top. He's got to finish his career out the right way, and we got to finish it out the right way for him. But he understands what's going on here, and very appreciative. I mean, I think he showed he belonged. I think if you listen to Mark's comments before and after the game, and then even today, he understands that he could play at that level, and he's a really good player, and that he understands what we do, and I think him and Andy Richmond being together for 4 years has really helped him out.
Oh yeah,
and I think all that wrapped up in a bottle is great. I mean, you really are witnessing one of the greats to ever play at Eastern Kentucky University football, and I think people don't really understand what that means.
Yeah,
and you need to go out and watch him in live and in person because here's a guy never been in trouble. 3.6 or 7 GPA when he graduated.
Blacking.
Undergrad. Yeah, I mean, and then now he's got like a 4.0 in his MBA. I mean, it's almost too good to be true. I get it. But, I'd stand on the table for that guy every day.
I remember just talking to, when we had the guys over here during the off season, I always brought up, Parker's got the $1 million smile and the nice looking hair. I think if it wasn't for Rickson Lane, he might have the best looking hair on the football program. But
there could be some that argue.
That's
with
true.
that.
That's true.
I mean, his hair's slowly falling out. So, I mean, Parker, if you're watching this, best looking hair. I'm gonna let Michael have that.
Okay, all right.
There's plenty of guys.
Well, listen,
that would argue
we're
with
talking
that.
about Rickson. I always ask Rickson, like, what's the regimen, man? How do you get the locks to look like that perfect every single day?
Well, I think Rickson's got the regiment for a lot of things. I mean, his blood pressure never gets high. So,
oh, no, hang on a second.
He was hyped
at
on
halftime,
Saturday.
me and Dawson both said it. He was down there fired up. I mean, I was like, Rickson, what's going on? Dude, chill. We're good. We've got a whole other half. Let's keep it going. Rickson was fired up at halftime.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
he came over and he surprised me a little bit. I never seen him that pumped up. So.
He does a great job. So we're lucky to have Rickson.
Well, okay, let's talk about Western Carolina now. Big game this Saturday, first home game. For the folks that are watching, we got to get them out there. We got to get some support. You talked about it for Parker and McKinney, but just the team in general, because we got some high expectations. We know where we are at, but we know where we want to go as well. So talk to them about coming out and supporting your football team this weekend.
Well, I think first and foremost, Western Carolina just upset a top 10 opponent.
Yep.
I mean, Samford down in Birmingham was top 10. They've got supposedly the guy that's better than Parker at quarterback. They beat them 30-7 at their house and at Western Carolina, I should say. Now there was a big rain delay in there, and that probably created some habit. But it was 14-7 when they went to that. But, they're a really good football program. Kerwin Bell's done a nice job, won a national title at Valdosta State as a head coach in D2. So this is his, fourth year there, I think, too. And so, or third year, excuse me. So he understands what's going on in that program, and they've done a great job recruiting. And so they, I just got done watching tape on both of them, both sides of the ball and special teams, and they've got a really good football team. So, number one, you're going to see a good game.
Yeah.
Number two is, like you said, we've got some players that are going to play on Sundays, and there's going to be a lot of guys that play on Sunday. And you need to come out and get to know these guys because they may come back and make Richmond their home. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Go away, do whatever you want to do, but then come back and make Richmond your home. And hopefully some of that will happen. So, we've got a lot of things going on: Youth Day, youth football, Teacher Day, Teacher Appreciation. Tailgating. Y'all going to be there and have a great show. The weather looks like right now it's going to be upper 70s, so it should be great.
Perfect.
At 6 o'clock at night, so it'll be even a little cooler. And we got the light show that'll go on, with our lights and just everything that our staff, Matt Rohn and his crew have done to get us ready to go. And the one thing I think, even though we didn't win Saturday, we showed you that we can be a good football team. So come out and watch some good football.
Dawson, that's what we talked about. The field there Saturday, we need to carry that over times 10 into RKS this Saturday.
And I was going to transition that to a question for Coach. You're 0-2. It's a tough start, but you had some tough teams. How do you build momentum towards these teams? Now you know that they're a little bit easier, and it's like, okay, we got the tough stuff out of the way. Now we know what we're going to do against these guys. Even if they're good, how do you keep the momentum going for the team, even if they get in their head, we're 0-2. How do we go out and beat Western Carolina?
Well, I think that's the process of not looking at the scoreboard. And we talk about that all the time in game day. Don't look at the scoreboard. Play each play as a life of its own. Play each game as a life of its own. It's as soon as you start going up, somebody's going to come in and chop your legs out. Yeah. As soon as you stay down, people are going to pile on top of you. So just stay even kill. That doesn't mean you can't celebrate success and have fun, but understand it's just momentarily. After that, the goal is at the end. Well, the end's not until January if you look at our goals. So we've got to continue to we've got a lot of football left to play. And, I get it. I understand we're 0-2, and I don't like that. But we've got to move on.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. It's like when anything happens in life, you can either fold or you can, grow. And we got to choose to grow.
Got one more question before we let him go?
Well, I figured you had to take a commercial break, and then we're coming back.
Well, are you good to stick around?
I'm good to wait until after commercial break.
Manicure, pedicure, we got all that stuff lined up. No, we good.
True.
All right, well, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. And we'll wrap things up. And Dawson and I have a surprise for Coach Wells as well when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports
what could
Show.
It be?
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East and RichmondRaceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
We're back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, talking with EKU football coach Walt Wells and Samantha. Madison Southern played Wayne County on Friday night. One of the Wayne County's finest had a big game for the Colonels on Saturday.
Yeah, the kid from Fraser. We interviewed him. I mean, and what a great guy he is. He is so personable. And if you have not read the kid from Fraser, the article that you guys have on EKUsports.com, you have to read it because it is so true. I mean, we met him. We loved him. He's such a great, phenomenal guy and just so personable. Coach, talk to us about, did he have his whole family there, like you said?
I didn't see him, but I'm sure he did. I'm sure they were all, I know they're at every home game, so it's just 30 more minutes up the road. I'm sure they had tickets and were there. And he played well, other than his fumble. He played well. And he's a really good football player for us, but he's equally a phenomenal person. And he's not a big talker. He's not a big this or that, but he is. He's a
sports.com. You can call the ticket office. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. You mentioned some of the new things that they've done, but there's also enhancements to the video boards. There's going to be inflatables, live music. I mean, you name it. It's going to happen.
It's a great product on the field, but there's a lot going on before and even during the game. My favorite thing is when they do the air guitar cam and they pan around and you see the kids and things like that. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Kentucky
even a mini little football field they're going to paint out there for the kids.
Might be where we have to end
you
up.
You guys might be out there throwing.
That might be where we have our best luck. Because listen, being out there Saturday.
Yes.
We got pumped up, Coach. Right. So much so that I went back and looked. I've got 2 years eligibility left.
You ready to go?
So if you need us ready to go, here's how much we are ready to go.
Uh-oh.
I think they're ready to go.
Oh, shoot. 50 and 82. I like it.
Hey, I'm not big enough to be a linebacker, I don't think, but I think that's what this number is. Dawson, put him at tight end. We're ready to go, man.
Well, let's go.
I've got 2 years eligibility left.
You need to get him like, let's go, baby.
Well, here's the thing.
We need to get a photo shoot with these two.
My intramural stats, I played quarterback.
I got you.
We only played 3 games. That's how bad we were. I threw 6 interceptions, but I did throw 7 touchdowns. So if Parker gets hurt, you got the 4th, 5th string quarterback, you got to put them in there. I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go. Yeah. Well, that'd be awesome. I'm used to that in my family right now, so that'll be good. But no, I appreciate you guys.
Hey, we're ready to go, man.
Look. I mean, those are last year's jerseys right there.
Well, when they brought them to us, I was like, man, we got to find a way to use these. So
you're close to number 50 there with Zach walking around here.
Oh, I know. That's why I
forget his number now. You don't want to see K-Ron in those things because
where's Colbert?
He was
up
here.
early.
Yeah, he's back here. He's back here hiding.
Listen,
they're acting like they're selling some cars.
EKU, Western Carolina, folks. If you want to have some fun, tailgate opens up early. There's a lot of cool things going on. Come by and see Dawson and I. We've got go to EKUsports.com. There's an article up about all the new enhancements that are made for the game. So go up there
New
and check
logo
it out.
on the field, too.
Yeah, I mean, you got the
Athletic
USC.
Conference logo.
So it's going to
Cool
be a fun
features.
day, Saturday. And Dawson and I might have to suck it in a little bit more and put this thing back on, but we'll be ready to go. Come on by
I
and
think
see
you should
us.
wear it all day Saturday.
Hey, listen here, my wife, if she likes it, I'll keep it on until Saturday.
There
I'm
you
ready to
go.
sleep in this thing. So that's how fired up.
You
We
probably
are
have to
ready
sleep in it because you
go.
probably can't get it off.
I suck it in. I'm like, I won't eat tonight.
Well, you know what they used to do? They used to put Vaseline on the outside.
To make it easier to get on? Oh, that makes sense.
No, to make it so they couldn't grab it and get it off.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that makes even more sense. All right.
So to keep the crowd off of it.
Trick play.
Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff, folks. EKU, Western Carolina. Get there early. Have
Get
fun.
there
Come by
early.
and see us.
Perfect
Play
weather.
some cornhole, and let's get the season started at home with a W for EKU football. Thanks, Coach Welsh, for coming
Appreciate
over to
y'all.
see us. Our producer, Copeland Peterson. He's Dawson Rule. She is Samantha Burford, about to go get a haircut. I'm Michael Watkins. We'll see you next Monday for the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.